Henry Hayes Vowles. Henry Hayes Vowles, 26 June 1843, Victoria Park Farm, Bath, England, 13 November 1905, Gloucester, England, was an English author, theologian, and a Wesleyan minister. He also published religious poetry. Parents. He was the son of Henry Vowles, 13 October 1816, 17 February 1883, Reading of Bath, and Mary Yeoman Harding, 18 December 1812, 10 January 1886, Lyme Regis of the Chancellor, Wanstead, Somerset. The parents of Henry Vowles b. 1816 were James Vowles, a dairyman of 2 Quiet Street, Bath, born 2 March 1785, buried 6/2/1859, and Martha Edney, born 1789. James Vowles was the son of William Vowles, a dairy farmer of Walcott, buried 1809, and Hannah Hancock. William Vowles was the son of James Vowles and Martha Jane, married at Bath Abbey on 6 August 1728. Reverend Henry Hayes Vowles' father, Henry, is recorded as being employed in a number of roles. In 1838, he is noted as a yeoman on a wedding certificate. This piece of evidence is particularly interesting as the whole document, including witnesses' signatures, is completed in the same hand as the rector. All of the men on the certificate are described as yeomen. In 1851, his occupation was described as a carrier's agent. In 1871, his occupation was recorded as farmer. He is cited on family trees as a dairyman. Henry, after getting through 2 fortunes and driving his wife from home, was steadily employed by Huntley and Palmers of Reading, where he died and was buried. His mother, Mary Yeoman Vowles née Harding, led a life of much sadness, but her sweet disposition, like her mother's, made her a favorite with everybody. Mary Harding's brother was Joseph Harding, who standardized the production of modern cheddar cheese. They were the children of Joseph Harding and Mary Yeoman. The parents of this Mary Yeoman were the diarists John Yeoman and Mary Yeoman, both of Wanstead. The Harding family had originally come from Pewsey, Wiltshire. Siblings. Reverend Henry Hayes Vowles had 3 siblings. All 4 were born at Bath Park Farm. John Alonzo Vowles, born Bath Sept. 1845, of Bruton, who drowned at Stourbridge 20 July 1865, and was buried there 24 July 1865. This is documented as below: a fine young man, aged 20 years, residing at Wadden Farm, Bruton, and who was on a visit to his sister Mrs. Collins of this town. It appears that on the day in question he called at the house of Mr. Illy Benjafield, Marshmore Farm, where he took dinner, leaving there about 3 o'clock, with 2 of Mr. Benjafield. This account states the death occurred on the 19th. Mary Yeoman Harding Vowles, who married Alfred Collins b. 1827 of Stourbridge and had 13 children. James Harding Vowles, 31 January 1877 of Edmonton, Canada. He married Fanny Patterson 1844–1863. He died in poverty soon after emigrating, but left descendants in Ontario. Their mother, Mary Vowles née Harding, died at Stourbridge and was buried beside her son Alonzo's grave. See image. Henry and Alonzo were educated at the expense of John Harding of Hollybank, Balcombe, Dorset. This was because their father Henry had led a very intemperate and wild life and spent 2 fortunes in driving his wife and family homeless. It was not safe for her to continue living with him, and so she came to my mother at Grosvenor House. Early life. In 1841, his parents were resident at Park Farm, Marlborough Street, Walcott, Lansdowne, Bath, with their 1-year-old son James. In 1851, Vowles was resident at Kingsmead Terrace, Bath, aged 8 and described as a scholar. He did not attend Kingswood School. Later life. Henry Hayes Vowles was ordained in 1867. During his lifetime, he also ministered in the following circuits: Faversham, Nelson, Blackpool, Birmingham, Pembroke, Stockton-on-Tees, Southwark, Gateshead, and Barnsley. He was also based at Southwark, He went to work in Gloucester in 1895 as superintendent of the Gloucester Wesleyan Circuit, which post he held for 3 years. He then went to Guernsey as chairman of the Channel Islands district. In 1901, he returned to Gloucester as supernumerary minister. He was an accomplished Hebrew and Greek scholar and published at least 2 of his sermons. He served on the Gloucester City Education Committee. In 1901, he was resident at St. Peter Port, Guernsey. Marriage and children. He married Hannah Elizabeth Thistle 18 November 1842 31 March 1903 and buried at Gloucester Cemetery at St. Mary's Church, Whitby on 29 August 1871. Hannah Elizabeth Thistle was born at 157 Mill Street, Liverpool, and was the daughter of Thomas Thistle 1813–1892 and Alice Smith 1876–1893. This Thomas Thistle was the son of Thomas and Martha Thistle née Wilson of Blue Band, Whitby. Hannah Vowles was the sister of Thomas Thistle. Alice Smith was the daughter of George Smith. In 1881, he was resident at Thornaby, Yorkshire. He had 7 children. Thomas Hubert Harding Vowles, J.P.A.R. I.B.A. born Belgrave Terrace, Sheffield Road, Barnsley 7 December 1872, died 1946, educated at King Edward's School, Birmingham, and became an architect in Gloucester and Binningbrough, York. Alice Thistle Vowles, born at 3 Regents Street, Gateshead 1 October 1874–1928. Mary Yeoman Hardinge Vowles, born at 1 Bedford Place, Gateshead 14 November 1876. Married Henry Allen Pierce of Priddy, Metford and Company Limited. Henry Hayes Vowles, Jr., born at 143 Jamaica Road, Bermondsey, London, on 11 March 1878, died 1955, who was a solicitor in Gloucester and a captain in the Gloucestershire Regiment in the First World War. In 1917, he was a lieutenant in B Company, the 13th Gloucesters with the BF in France. Later a lawyer at 65 Northgate Street, Gloucester. His partner, Mr. Russell Jessup, was honorary solicitor 1960 to Gloucester Football and Athletic Ground Company. Friendly Mabel Vowles, born at 143 Jamaica Road, Bermondsey, London 29 Dec 1879, later keeper of the Cottage Tea Room, Caterham. Guy Vowles, born at Morley House, Actoland Terrace, South Stockton, Thornaby 27 May 1882, died 1936. Hugh Pembroke Vowles, born at Pembroke 22 July 1885, died 1951. Married Margaret Winifred Pierce, Rev. H. Vowles, brother James Harding Vowles, son emigrated to Ontario, Canada, and died there soon after. He left a number of Vowles descendants in the province. Publications. Books. Forever and Ever, a popular study in Hebrew, Greek, and English words, published by Swanson and Steen and Co. London, 1898. 2 sermons. I. King David and Queen Victoria. Roman 2. King Lemuel and King Edward, published by C. H. Kelly, London, 1901. Publications. Poetry. Poem published in 1889 in the Wesleyan Methodist Magazine, being a continuation of the Arminian or Methodist Magazine. Poem entitled An Advent Sonnet, published in the Wesleyan Methodist Magazine. Date uncertain. Poem entitled Sinai, published in the Wesleyan Methodist. Date uncertain. Death and obituaries. Vowles died at his residence, Holmley, Kingsham, Gloucester. A number of obituaries were published at the time of his death in local Gloucester papers and Methodist publications. The following is repeated here verbatim. Henry H. Vowles was born at Bath. The Lord is the strength of my life, of whom shall I be afraid? Much more might be said of his character and ministry, but it was his earnest request that as little as possible might be written about him. He died at Gloucester, 13 November 1905, in his 63rd year, and in the 38th of his ministry.